Pizza for dinner. As a child, I loved eating pizza for dinner, but now as an adult, I don't like it. It may be because I'm spending my own money on pizza, but I think it's mostly because of how often I eat it. Instead of making a nice homemade meal at home, I'm wasting my money on ordering out. My parents were too busy to teach me and my brothers how to cook, as is the case in many families nowadays. As a college student, I still don't know many dishes, and there's absolutely no way I could host Thanksgiving dinner. I have researched and found articles on why children should learn to cook and the benefits of cooking at home. As someone in their mid-20s who doesn't know how to cook, I have firsthand experience as well. It is necessary for everyone to eat, and what better way to learn than learning to cook as a child? At a college age, we are all beginning our futures and starting our own families. Hopefully, you will realize how important it is to cook at home. Too many children grow up without knowing basic life skills for cooking healthy meals. I am here today to persuade you that cooking is an important skill that you should teach your children starting at a young age. I will start off by talking about the disadvantages to not cooking. Then I will talk to you about the benefits of cooking. And lastly, I will give you advice on how to teach your children how to cook and give you easy recipes to teach them. I would like to start off by talking to you about why it is a problem when children do not learn to cook and what results later on in life. When you aren't used to cooking for yourself, you tend to eat out more. Students nowadays are headed off to college without some basic life skills. Cooking is a skill that many students have not learned, and because of this, they are eating out and eating unhealthy. According to Ruki Sayed in his article, Can't Cook, Won't Cook, more than a third of adults are heading off to university, and they don't know how to boil an egg. Now, how hard is it to grab a piece of bread and put it in the toaster? Well, apparently 18% of millennials don't know how to do this. From the same study, apparently 48% don't know how to make spaghetti. In the same article by Sayed, about 3/4 of students don't know how to throw together a vegetable curry. Unfortunately, I am part of this. Obesity in America has been a common problem, and it starts by our eating habits as children. I found astounding information on the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention website, stating that the percentage of children with obesity in the United States has more than tripled since the 1970s. Today, about 1 in 5 school-aged children has obesity. By not teaching our children how to cook, and by eating fast food regularly, we are teaching our children that it is okay to eat unhealthy. Instead of taking the time to teach them how to cook, or teaching at home ourselves, we are allowing unhealthy health styles that will most likely result to health problems as adults. Children grow up in families that do not have time to cook, and therefore they are used to eating out and getting fast food. As a result, when they grow up, they tend to follow these habits, and they don't really learn how to cook. According to medicalexpress.com, there is a connection between fast food, obesity, and chronic diseases like high blood pressure. One of the reasons could be that fast food has 65% more calories than the average meal. Most students will say, well, I never learned to cook. I'm not a good cook like Julia Child, so why not leave it to somebody who is? Why bother making a disaster in the kitchen when I could have someone else make the food for me? It all begins as a child. If we learn how to cook as a child and we have trial and error, we end up being better cooks as we grow older. In short, I have told you why it is such a big problem that children are not learning how to cook. Not only are students going off to college without these basic cooking skills, but children nowadays are eating unhealthier as well. Now that you have heard why it is a problem that children aren't learning how to cook growing up, let's talk about the benefits of cooking. There are many benefits to teaching children how to cook. Teaching children how to cook allows for the development of many life skills for them, and it is also a money-saving way to eat. Besides the fact that cooking teaches children to help out around the house, there are also many life skills that children can learn by cooking with their parents. To begin with, cooking is an important life skill. We all need to eat, therefore we should all learn how to cook. When children learn to cook with their parents or guardians, they are also spending time with them and building a relationship. In an article labeled 12 Reasons Every Child Should Learn to Cook, they give great benefits to teaching children how to cook. One of the main ones, in my opinion, is that it can develop motor skills. learning how to stir, roll, measure, and sprinkle increases children's motor skills. Other skills include counting, fractions, weighing, measuring, problem solving, sharing, reading, and learning about other cultures. This is only naming a few of them. Rather than ordering food or getting fast food, cooking at home saves money. I found an article titled "Cut Your Food Bills in Half" that gives a lot of advice on how to eat smarter and cheaper. From the U.S. Department of Labor's 2005 Consumer Expenditure Survey, they found that Americans spend around half of their food money outside the house. Sales at restaurants and bars have also now surpassed those of grocery stores for the first time since 1992. We have learned that there are crucial skills that children can learn by learning to cook with their parents, and that cooking at home saves money. Now that you know why children should cook, let's look at the different ways that you can teach your children an easy recipe to make. There are many ways to teach your children how to cook. I will focus on different meals, and I will give you tips on how to teach your children. I found an article labeled "Tips for Cooking with Kids," and in the article they give a few different foods that kids can easily make. Foods that allow kids to be creative and pick what they want to eat are especially helpful. For example, to demonstrate how easy it is, I have laid out different candies, fruits, and cereals. You can create a healthy snack while saving money. Another idea is to leave out bread, different meat, veggies, and cheese to allow your children to create their own sandwiches. This way, children can't complain that it's not what they wanted. Also, if you have more than one child that never agree on what they want, you can have them make their own sandwiches. It also allows you a break. By teaching children how to make different meals, it allows them to try new foods and be creative with their cooking. Getting children involved with cooking will get them excited and interested in eating their food. Dina Norton, a mother and blogger, writes many articles and ebooks. In one of these articles, called "Teach Kids to Make Their Own Meals," she has advice on when to teach children how to cook. She says it's best to start early. You should have babies in a safe area in the kitchen, playing with wooden spoons or whatever they do. Toddlers and preschoolers can help you with little tasks, while school-age children can actually start preparing their own food under your supervision. A good method to teach your children is the I do, we do, you do method. First, they see you do it, and then they help you do it. Lastly, they do it by themselves while you supervise them. In short, it takes only a little bit of time and practice to teach your children how to cook. As long as you are willing, you can have your own little chef in your house. My purpose today has been to persuade you to teach cooking skills to your children and loved ones. You have heard that many college students go off to college without basic skills, causing them to eat unhealthy and waste money. We have also found out that there are different life skills that children can learn from cooking. Lastly, I have given you easy to learn recipes to teach your children and given you advice on how to teach them. I hope you will consider teaching your kids to cook. Nothing brings people together like good food. Cooking with your children is a great way to bond with your children and to make it all more enjoyable for all of you. To quote Julia Child, "No one is born a great cook. One learns by doing."